TomoNews presents Bizarre Food.
Japanese author launches condom cookbook to promote safe sex. A new cookbook published in Japan by manga author Kyosuke Kagami is causing quite a stir on the internet because of its title, which is Condom Meals I Want to Make for You. The book, which went on sale on Monday, promotes safe sex and awareness and lets people know that condoms are not just to be used for birth control, but also to prevent sexually transmitted diseases. It features 11 recipes that use condoms as tools for food preparation. One of them is the delicious condom sushi. Now, some may be disgusted by the idea of using condoms for cooking, especially by the smell of latex. Take a closer look, though, and you'll actually find the book to be useful. The author worked with the culinary expert to create all of her recipes. For those who are willing to give the condom cuisine a try, be sure to wash off the lubricant before you start cooking with them.
Yeah, it's a man's world, and men do like to erect things. But in one village in Serbia, it's all about the balls. No, not those. These. Every year, the village of Lunjevica hosts what has become an international celebration of testicles. Animal testicles, and they eat them. The tradition goes back generations. And they say that gnawing on the nads will give men a sexual boost. Chef Ljubomir Erovic, who wrote a book about cooking balls, started the cook-off to arouse more interest in the delicate organ. And on a total tangent, this is how you skin a ball. Teams cook up their bits and pieces, and they're only allowed to use those bits and pieces, and judges decide which one they like best. And on another tangent, this gal is the president of the jury. She's American and found out about the festival in a late-night Google search. We don't know which search terms she used. So yeah, the best recipe wins, and they get this trophy which has a peeker sticking out of it. These ball munchers also give a prize to the ballsiest man in the world, and if you want, you can vote too. Obama won once, and so did Julian Assange. This year's looking like it'll be a squeeze between Edward Snowden and Angela Merkel.
Frozen raccoon for sale at LA supermarket. A grocery store in a Los Angeles suburb area has been making headlines after a video surfaced showing the store selling frozen raccoons. Christina Dow was shopping at Metro Supermarket in Temple City on Monday. That was where she saw something that made her jaw drop. Frozen whole raccoons with bloody fur packaged in plastic bags. They were selling for $9.99 a pound, with one particular raccoon going for $54.35. Dow filmed her shocking discovery with her cell phone. She also found alligator feet next to the raccoons. She quickly got out of the supermarket while still filming, making sure her video shows the name of the store. She then uploaded the video to social media and reported the shop to the Los Angeles County Health Department. A supermarket employee told CBS Los Angeles that raccoons, which don't exist in wild China, are considered a Chinese delicacy for certain dishes. But is it legal to sell raccoon meat in California? The answer is yes, as long as the origins of the meat are officially approved. The supermarket has since stopped selling raccoons until it gets approval. Shrink-wrapped whole suckling pig available in Japan's supermarkets. Warning, pig lovers, discretion is advised. Remember how we all used to adore this lovely talking piglet babe? How he won everyone's heart and gave us the courage to explore the world? I know, pink piglets are super cute. But wait, entire shrink-wrapped suckling piglets are now on sale in Japanese supermarkets. Okay, I do love pork cutlets and Japanese hot pot with pork, but to see an entire wrapped suckling pig in the supermarket is a completely different story. As a meat eater, I might sound like a hypocrite when I say this, but yeah, it's kind of unsettling. Eating poor little babe isn't cheap. A whole suckling pig costs 30,000 Japanese yen. That's about $280 US. A suckling pig is a baby pig that is slaughtered between the ages of 2 and 6 weeks, and traditionally is roasted whole for special occasions.
Florida man caught killing, eating endangered tortoises. Florida wildlife authorities on Thursday announced the arrest of a man who admitted to killing and eating 15 endangered gopher tortoises and reportedly planned on slaughtering nearly a dozen more along the state's west coast. Authorities first suspected they might have a serial killer with a taste for reptiles on their hands after an officer, following a tip, came across tire tracks and tortoise shells in the middle of the woods. The next day, the officer stumbled across a scene that would no doubt make even the most hardened veteran conservationist knees buckle. Nearly a dozen live gopher tortoises trapped in a container, awaiting death. The officer next waited and hid himself until the killer got back. While details of the culprit remain scarce, there's no question in our minds who's to blame for this. Granted, the idiot must have confused tortoises for turtles. You one crazy shredder. Man, you crazy.
If serving customers shot glasses full of horse semen wasn't enough, a Wellington, New Zealand pub owner has raised the bar with Stag cum cocktails in a bid to win the Monteith's Wild Food Challenge. Chewing over his ballsy entry for the 16th annual competition, Green pub owner Steve Drummond settled on a deer chosen for its attractive and strong head, thick beam and huge coronets. How exactly the semen is harvested from Hannibal, the 7-year-old Geraldine sire stag, is unknown. The stuff concoction includes yogurt and around 4,000 sperm. Perfect for the winter mating season. Cheers, eh? Suspiciously, Drummond and co-owner Tarian Kelly are reportedly yet to try their new culinary experiment.
Hornet mooncake introduced at this year's Mid-Autumn Festival in Taiwan. These are some yummy traditional mooncakes for the upcoming Mid-Autumn Festival on September 8th. Here's an innovative treat. It's a mooncake with a hornet placed on top of it. And there's more for those hungry for hornets. The cake's filling contains hornet larvae. The pastry shop owner said hornet mooncake is crispy, and the sweet and sour hornet larvae has a nice taste after it's baked. The idea for the hornet cake came from a third-generation pastry shop owner, Su Li Ji, who also works as a volunteer fireman, where he removes a lot of hornet hives. According to Taiwanese remedies, bee larvae can prevent aging and revitalize skin. Su thought it might be a good idea to use it as an ingredient in mooncakes. Taiwan Apple Daily's bold reporter decided to give it a try. The hornet tasted like crispy fried shrimp. The larvae tasted just like red bean paste. It's also got a taste of liquor and fruit. Sue explained that after the larvae were cooked, they were soaked in rum. It actually tastes quite good. If you don't know what it's made of, you won't taste any difference. One hornet mooncake costs about $3. Only 2,000 will be available for sale. Are you daring enough to try one?
Cavs fan eats horse manure at championship parade. After 52 years of championship purgatory, LeBron James and the Cavaliers finally brought home some glory for the city of Cleveland. Upon winning the NBA title over the Golden State Warriors on Sunday, more than 1.3 million fans turned out for the downtown celebration on June 22nd. And as expected, some of them were so overcome with joy, they wound up doing, well, things like this. That's what half a century of dashed hopes and broken dreams can lead to, apparently.
Man caught eating feces in women's toilet in China. In a mall in Guangdong, China, local visitors have discovered a man who frequents the women's bathroom in order to eat feces. A security guard explained that he'd started seeing the man and receiving complaints about a year ago. The guard also said that the man often comes in the morning between 8 to 10 a.m. and then again in the afternoon. A reporter, attempting to get to the bottom of the man's eating habits, cornered him just as he was exiting the bathroom. When asked why he was eating excrement, the man simply said it was because he was hungry. He preferred to eat women's poo because he said it tasted better, and he often felt better after eating it. He's claimed that he's been eating fecal matter for 8 years. The man often busts in on women before they're able to flush the toilet, saying he enjoys his food warm and fresh, like any regular person. The women's bathroom in the mall has been locked up since, and local residents are demanding that the government or the hospitals ensure that the man receives help from a psychiatrist. Maybe he's just been told to eat shit and die too many times, which is a common curse used in Chinese.
On the menu tonight, hipbone. Norwegian artist Alexander Selvik Velskjold has redefined Scandinavian cuisine. This adventurous eater was born with a deformed hip and had spent most of his life in a wheelchair. 4 years ago, he had an operation on his hip, and then he asked the doctor if he could keep his hip bone after the surgery. Velskjold also filmed the entire operation. Originally, Velskjold was just going to exhibit his hip bone, but then he came up with an idea when he saw meat on the bone. Maybe I should eat it, he thought, after which he chowed down on his own flesh with a side of potatoes and a glass of red wine. It tasted just like wild sheep, he noted. Velskjold now exhibits his removed bone and the video footage of his surgery. He says he wants people to think about how we think about our body parts. Okay, sure, I'll think about my body parts, but I'm not gonna eat any of them!
Those poor beavers. When they're not being trapped for their pelts or displaced by nutrias, they're being harvested for their vanilla-scented santorum. That's because anal secretions from beavers are used in vanilla-flavored foods. Don't believe us? It's all over the internet. None of the reports we saw explain exactly how their secretions are extracted. If you know how this is done, please tell us in the comments. Take it from Mel Gibson. Elbow deep in beaver is where it's at.
Chinese restaurants caught seasoning their food with opium. If you've ever found yourself desperately craving Chinese food soon after eating a bowl of noodles or hot pot, MSG might not necessarily have been the culprit. China's Food and Drug Watchdog has found dozens of restaurants all across the country allegedly using opium to season their food. Now, whether small amounts of opium in their grub can indeed make addicts or even regulars out of customers remains to be proven. But given how frequent cases of opium seasoning have been in recent years, the restaurants, which include a popular Beijing hot pot chain, may have been attempting to test that very theory. 5 of the 35 restaurants found to have been peppering their food with opium are currently being prosecuted. The others are still under investigation.
Naked sushi restaurant in Vancouver sparks controversy. This is Nyotai Mori. A naked model is used as a sushi platter while customers eat sushi from the model's body. A Nyotai Mori restaurant in Canada called Naked Sushi has caused controversy since its grand opening in July. According to the restaurant's website, Naked Sushi creates an atmosphere of traditional Japanese elegance that will render your evening unforgettable. But the restaurant also has a couple of rules. Customers are not allowed to speak to the models. Body contact is also forbidden. Local media reported that Nyotai Mori is a Japanese tradition when Canadian feminist groups staged a protest against the Vancouver restaurant in September, saying it is a form of sexual objectification and is unhygienic. After news about naked sushi was spread in Japan via the internet, Japanese netizens denied Nyotai Mori was the Japanese tradition. What do you think about Nyotai Mori? Is it delicious or disgusting? Let us know in the comments.
22-year-old Keisha of Queens, New York has a strange addiction: dirty diapers. She loves them.
It has to have pee in it. It has to have pee in it.
She sniffs them. She nibbles at them. She even keeps them in her dresser. Her fiancé has found dirty diapers stuffed into mugs. Keisha's reply is simply, just wash it. Keisha gets her fix from friends and strangers, and her addiction is so great she will even go into the trash to score. Keisha can't really explain why she finds pee-soaked nappies so appealing, but she doesn't seem the least bit ashamed of her addiction.
No, for real. This is good. Hold on. Okay, continue.
Her story will be aired in a TLC TV series called My Strange Addiction. The show has also featured a woman addicted to paint pens and a man who wants to look like the Ken doll. Do you have a strange addiction? Let us know.
U.S. space agency NASA is funding a company to develop 3D printing of foods. Advocates of 3D printing technology say delivering long-life foods from alternative ingredients could help solve the problem of feeding astronauts and ease food shortages on Earth. Manned space missions require stocks of non-perishable foods. 3D printing could be a promising solution to the problem of feeding crews. Traditionally, food sources perish easily. Proteins, vitamins, fibers, and carbohydrates can be derived from alternative nutrient sources like insects, grasses, algae, and seeds. Stored as powders, they can last for years. When combined with sugars and oils, nutritionally dense foods can be created layer by layer. NASA will provide U.S. firm Endangered contractor with $125,000 over 6 months to make the technology viable. 3D printing is already used to build complex machine parts and furniture.